Hello, and welcome to this latest episode of Trends. Today I'm with Elle Ng-Darmawan, Regional Director Asia Pacific at the Global Business Travel Association, GBTA. We're at IT&CMA and CTW 2025, and you are watching Trends. Hello, Elle. Can you give us a brief introduction to GBTA?
The Global Business Travel Association, we have made a return to Asia Pacific, but globally. We have been around for more than 50 years. So we have a total of over 9,000 members globally. I think within APAC, we are growing that quite rapidly over the past 2 years. So currently we are at about 500 over members for Asia Pacific, with a huge community in India and Australia, because thanks to my country managers based locally. So I'm based out of Singapore and I look after the APAC region. It's a huge industry, $1.57 worth of spending in this business travel sector. So currently in Asia Pacific, we are looking to engage a lot more with this side of the world now, adding to the, putting the real G in GBTA, making it truly global. So we do a lot of engagement through various, within GBTA's mission, it falls under 3 pillars. That's community, learning, and advocacy. So currently we are doing a lot around community building through different key markets, China, India, Australia, Japan, South Korea being key markets for APAC.
And what trends do you see in business travel this year and over the next 5 years?
I think we do see new trends, like people looking into wellness, as what we are all talking about this time at IT&CMA and Corporate Travel World Exchange. I think the wellness bit has come into a lot of people's top of mind consideration. I think beyond that, looking at the region or business travel globally and to APAC, we are seeing APAC still standing strong as one of the key region, or the biggest region for business travel spending. Just within Asia Pacific, the business travel spend stands at about 41%. That's 41% of global total. So, but with that, you have such a huge volume of business travel activities happening in APAC. You do see people in APAC, as per our business travel index outlook research that was released in July, you will see that a lot of people are prioritizing their duty of care, also looking at the innovations that are coming about within the region today. I think APAC is leading in this area, so that's also something that we found to be noteworthy. Yeah.
How is wellness being blended in business travel?
Very good question. I was actually speaking to that at an industry event earlier this week. So wellness, I think, and leisure, and another key topic that is sprouting, that's Hush Trip, something that we are going to discuss tomorrow at the Corporate Travel World. So leisure, wellness, I think why people are looking at it, APAC business travelers has a higher focus compared to rest of the world on wellness. It is not a new topic, leisure. It precedes COVID. But I think there's increased awareness around this topic where people are, taking a step back and recalibrating the whole balance. So there are people who put through a trip that is purpose-driven, be it, you put in more into your itinerary to meet people, to meet colleagues. But beyond that, then do you extend that pre or post? Being more cautious of your length of travel, but you make the most out of it and you create that little pocket of wellness in mind. So do you take some time off and then you do something for yourself, and that's for your personal mental well-being, instead of you just arrive at a destination, go in for a day trip and then you get out immediately, and that's taking a toll on a lot of people's physical and mental well-being.
Yeah. So would corporates be more mindful about their senior executives, employees, that when they're travelling and booking flights, they might look at the time that they're arriving, impact of jet lag, the frequency of international travel, because that all comes down to the well-being of their key executives. So is that part of the wellness equation, wellness in the agenda of somebody travelling? Not just going to a spa or having a wellness experience, but actually the well-being of employees and how they are travelling on business, i.e. the frequency that they're travelling, how often they're away from home, the flight times that they're taking, factoring in jet lag, so you don't just put employees on a flight and expect them to deliver, they come back and then they're on the next flight. So is that an awareness of corporates today?
David, I would say there is very much more awareness in that regard. So today we are seeing, corporates sending their travelers for business purposes, being more flexible, and they do empower employees to reconsider their trip. So do they make it really, fully packed with back-to-backs and, immediately you get in, you head straight to a meeting? I think gone are those days. That is so, but that is so, high strung. I will use the word. I think we're trying to do away with that. So within the community, we are seeing more flexibility and more encouragement from the organizations to empower the travelers, to build in a little bit of a flexibility around their schedule, coping with their jet lag. Like you get in a day before if you are traveling to Europe or US from APAC. I think there are more organizations enabling the employees to do that, like fly in the day before, to adjust yourself so that you make the best trip possible, because you can't cope well when you are, living in a complete 12-hour flip time zone. So, and then it's not going to be productive for your business meetings or for your business engagement. So we do see a trend of people, organizations empowering that and encouraging that. So I think it tunes into the fact that as a society, there is a growing heightened awareness around this wellness concept. Not entirely just pushing for leisure, but I think there is a concept of wellness today in business travel.
And are there different generational expectations? Because somebody like me, an old guy, baby boomer, and when I was traveling extensively for my company, I didn't think about wellness, and I just got on flights and went and did the business for my employer. The new generation that's stepping into the corporate world and buying business travel, do they have different sets of expectations?
From what I'm seeing in the industry, I think definitely. I mean, given the different generational of travelers, you do see, I think when you come down to the youngest generation in the workforce today, our Gen Zs, they will be still excited about traveling for work, getting on that plane, seeing new places, getting new experiences. I think they might tend to do more than what I think I'm going to classify myself as a more laid-back traveler these days. So I think they'll probably tend to be more robust in what they want, and in terms of what they can take on. But I think for the older set of travelers, they will be a lot more tuned into the state of being, the state of balancing it out. Like you don't overstretch yourselves, and then you do what is the most comfortable within the time that you are taking on those trips.
I have to come on to what I call the big S word, sustainability. So how is GBTA leading the way in going green for your members? What guidance, what leadership do you provide?
So as an association at GBTA, we have a GBTA Foundation that looks after pretty much the ESG, the big word, right? So we have the foundation looking after people and planet. So I think I would just get the people side out of the way. But I think in sustaining the industry, so we are looking at people development programs That's one bit that we do, developing the next generation into this industry. Now, moving on to the planet pillar, that's what we are actively driving. In fact, we just finished a sustainability acceleration challenge to encourage companies within this business travel industry to work towards a common goal of net zero by 2050. But again, within APAC or globally, there are varying timelines, right? But in APAC, we are actively driving that. There is varying level of understanding for this big ass word, sustainability. I will say, I think be it from Australia to Singapore to India to China, like within this broad region, this dynamic region, everybody has this lens on sustainability. Reducing their carbon emissions while on business travel.
So with regard to the carbon footprint, are there corporates that are looking at auditing their carbon footprint and mindful of how they're buying travel?
There is growing awareness of that, and some would be more tuned into that. And it also depends by industry. So I think from our challenge results from last year, we launched the Sustainability Acceleration Challenge in 2024. So it is a benchmarking tool for all companies, be it they are GBTA members or not. It is really open for all. So they are able to put in what are their current numbers looking like, and then that's a starting point. So we are encouraging everyone to be aware of their carbon emissions, their footprint, and then progressively work towards improving that score. So global standard would be, I think we are currently at 1.3 on a rating of 0 to 5. So 5 being really there, being ready. Global standard at the first year mark was 1.3. APAC is at 0.7. So we have a lot of work to do, and we have been starting to talk about sustainability in the last decade. I think this is the time where everyone in this industry, they need to really take real actions in working towards reducing their carbon footprint so that we can ensure a better planet for the future.
My last question, Elle, is AI. How is that impacting the industry and your members?
I would say very positive impact. For AI, I think it has enabled a lot of innovation. Again, I will reference it to our research. So APAC generally has a higher adoption rate in terms of mobile technology or using AI for your business travel booking. So global average is about 2/3 of global travelers will be tuned into that. But in APAC, we're seeing over 70% adoption rate. And in terms of like mobile wallets, I think all this builds an impact in positive travel experience for the business travelers who are traveling. So I think the use of AI and technology has positively impacted the travelers' experience, as well as I think from a corporate standpoint, it brings about a lot of efficiency. And then in turn, I think for travelers like us, it brings a lot of ease. So in short, AI is positively impacting the business travel industry.
So it's enabling clients to better manage their corporate travel, because if you can identify and have the statistics and a better analysis, then obviously you can better manage that corporate travel base.
Definitely. I think we are seeing an evolution of technology constantly being made available to enable that and to ease off that travel management side of things. Yeah. So I think we will continue to see more of this innovation, and I think APAC will be driving that force forward.
Fantastic. Elle, thanks so much for meeting with us today at the Trends Pop-Up Studio at IT&CMA and CTW 2025. Keep up the great work at GBTA and all the good leadership that you provide to your members in Asia Pacific and around the world. And I wish you a great afternoon at the show.
Same to you, David. Thanks for having me.